you want to grow huge garlic, many videos recommend to grow elephant garlic. It's often considered to be the third variety of garlic, in addition to hard-neck variety and soft-necked variety, about which I do have a video. People usually describe it as having a milder flavor than a usual garlic. However, in fact, it's much closer to leeks than to garlic, and it tastes very differently than garlic, and it's not a substitute to a usual garlic. Here you see comparison with a soft neck variety of garlic, and you see that it's much bigger than that. Before deciding if you do want to plant it, I would recommend you to try it. To my taste, it tastes a little bit like tulip bulbs, and I must admit I've never eaten tulip bulbs, but it definitely have something that I do not like much, and the only reason I grow them is for the beautiful flowers, about which I'm going to talk a little bit later. Here you see one clove is diseased, so I would not recommend to plant it. However, you can plant it separately far away from your main plantation so the disease doesn't spread to other garlic cloves. Before planting, I usually put them for about 1 hour in a solution of biological fungicide, for example, Trichoderma or hay bacillus, and also adding some humates. In terms of growing, it does grow in a similar way as to any other garlic, with the same full sun requirement, loose and rich humus soil, regular watering, and so on. So in order not to repeat, I recommend you to watch my detailed playlist about garlic. However, there are a few differences. As you see here, elephant garlic grows smaller corms outside of the bulb. Many people ignore them. However, if you plant them, the next year you would get a solid bulb, which would look like one big clove. And if you keep it in the soil or plant again, on the second year you would get a normal clove. So I do recommend not to throw them away, but to use to increase the amount of elephant garlic you grow. In terms of planting time, you can plant it both in spring and autumn. If you plant it in spring, you can collect harvest in about 3 months. However, it would be usually just one big clove, which I would recommend still grow another year to get bigger harvest. However, if you plant in autumn and you give it about 8 months to develop, including over the winter, you would get a big harvest and a big clove. So best it would plant somewhere in October, but of course it depends on the condition in your area. And coming back to the beauty of their flower stalks. If you grow elephant garlic to harvest it, it's best to remove this so that all the strands goes to the garlic and you get bigger bulbs. However, if you don't, it looks very beautiful and it attracts different insects. So you can use it in your flower garden as an ornamental plant and also to discourage pests. It does look beautiful. The rest of the cultivation of elephant garlic is exactly the same as for any other garlic variety, and you can see all the details in the playlist on how to grow garlic, which consists about 10 different videos.